In this video, I will show you how to run Android apps and games on your PC or laptop. There are various reasons why you want to do so. For example, if you're playing a game, you can get better frames per second, better graphics, and a bigger screen when using a PC or laptop to run your mobile games. So what you want to do is to scroll down at the bottom of this video and click on the link. That will send you to download the emulator. Next, you want to click on the download. I'm going to save this on my desktop. So that's the emulator. I'm going to install it. I'm going to click on install. Now it will ask you if you want to download additional software. Click on reject. Click on reject. Wait until that is completed. Click on start. Close that. So this is the emulator. Next you want to click on the settings. I'm going to leave it as tablet mode. I'm going to set it to 1920 by 1080. Now depending on your CPU, you can choose the amount of cores you want to use. This one is set to 4 GB of RAM. I'm going to set it to 8 for mine because I have 32 gigs of RAM. Again, you can set this depending on your computer specs. And to find your computer specs, you can right click on your taskbar and click on Task Manager. You can click on Details and click on Performance. This should tell you how many gigs of RAM you have. And for your CPU, it should tell you how many cores you have. I have 4 cores. Leave the Manage Disk to Automatic. Leave the Share Disk to the force setting. Click on Model. Now you can change the model. You can click on Random to change the IMEI number. Leave the phone number as blank. These are all the models available. Now if you click on Common Model, this will show you all the models available. I could change it to this one. These are all the 120 frames per second model. So I'm going to leave mine as that. If you go to Game Settings, currently it's set to 60 frames per second. That's the default. We can go all the way up to 240 frames per second. I'm going to leave it as 60 frames per second. You can click on Enable High Frame Rate if you want higher frame rates. I'm going to leave the advanced option to default. Next is audio. If you click on microphone, it will give you the different option. This is the microphone that I'm using, but I'm going to leave it as primary sound capture driver. If we click on the loudspeaker, this is what I'm using, but I'm going to leave it as default. Now this is the network. If you're playing a game, you will want network enable, so don't click on this one. Leave it as default. Now you can set your shortcuts to whatever you want. You can change your wallpaper. I'm going to leave mine as the default wallpaper. These are the other settings. This is to automatically rotate screen. That's enabled. Forcibly lock landscape is disabled. Fixed window size is disabled. Run at startup is disabled. Tablet mode is enabled. Root permission is disabled. ADB debugging is set to close connect. Exit option will give you a pop-up prompt. So these are the default settings. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to click on save settings. Now it will tell you to restart the emulator to update the settings. I'm going to close that for now. Next you have your keyboard mapping. If you click on it, it will give you this screen. Now you can drag and drop different icons. For example, a controller. Now this one is suitable for general tap. You need to enter a key. For now I'm going to click on the space. This one is for the direction. Now this one enables you to click the left mouse button to fire in shooter games. This one is the free look. View your surrounding while moving in game. This one is for the right mouse button. This one is to rotate the view in 3D games. This is the directional scale control. You can adjust it to where you want it. This one is to move the mouse to rotate the view in shooter games. This one is to control the move direction in games. This one is to simulate quick continuous tap. Again, you need to enter a key. I change it to shift. Keyboard simulates gravity sensor. This is for the record macro. This is for the write macro. So I'm not going to use these for now, so I'm going to close them. This is just to show you what it looks like. Click on save. These two are for the volume. This one is for full screen. It says press 11 to escape. This is for the operation recorder. You can start recording by pressing F10 or click on the button. This is to create another instance of the LD player, and I'll show you about this later. This is to show you the install APK. This is to do a screenshot. If I click on it, took a screenshot of the emulator. This is the video recorder. It is set to HD, and this is the video path. I would suggest to change it. I'm going to set it to videos, make a new folder, call it LD player. Click on OK. So the path is saved. This one is the synchronizer. Let's see what this does. So this allows you to sync all the instances of LD player that you have open. This is the shake the screen. This is for a shared folder. You can choose whether to share a folder on your PC. This is a virtual GPS. This is to rotate your screen. Now I'm going to talk about the LD multiplayer. This one is for the LD multiplayer, and this is to just run one LD player emulator. So if you click on the LD multiplayer, this will allow you to add more emulator, which is called instance. You can add more instance of the emulator. So if you click on add instance, you can either clone or do a new one. So I'm going to click on new. So I'm going to leave this as Android 9 64-bit. You can choose different Android version, but I recommend the highest one. You can type in how much you want. I'm going to leave this as 1. This management, I'm going to leave it as auto expand. Click on confirm. Now to change your name, double click on it and change your name. Now you can sort your emulator either by version or by name. Optimization, these are your optimization settings. I'm going to leave this as default. You can click on arrange windows. For me, it didn't do anything. Click on batch, new. So that gave me 5 new instances of the LD player, but I'm going to delete all of them. So I'm going to select all, uncheck that one. Click on confirm. I guess you have to do it one by one. Confirm and confirm. Now let's go back to the emulator. Now let's search for an app. I'm going to look for the Chrome browser. Press enter. Now it give me the Chrome browser. Now I will need to sign in to Google Play. I will need a Gmail account. I'm now going to sign in, but you'll need to sign in to download any app from the App Store. And this one here is the Android settings. Click on settings. You can change the settings in the app. You can change the settings for Android 9. Now there are 3 buttons over here. This one is the back button or escape. Now let's say you're in the gallery. This one will select the different screens. These are all the screens that are open. So I'm going to close this, this, and this. Now let's go back to the settings. If you click on the circle, this will send you to the home screen. You can clear all the screens by clicking on clear all. So that's it for this video. Hope you use the emulator to run your Android games and apps on your PC and laptop. Remember, the link is in the description below. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and adios amigos.